Well, good evening, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Allison, and along with my husband Gord, I am the owner of Skydive, or we are the owners of Skydive Vancouver Island. And as many of you guys have known, for the last like 5 years, we've been doing virtual safety seminars. And kind of it started with safety. Well, it started with COVID, and then Safety Day, and one for tandem UPT instructors. And then kind of we just started to think what a great way to bring people together virtually to be able to share information and have these awesome speakers that we've had. So tonight is the wrap up for 2025 for our very last safety seminar. And it is with the great excitement that I get to introduce Jean, who will be discussing some safety stuff around movement jumping, specifically to track and angle. Now, obviously, wingsuit is also in that area, but we are today focusing just on tracking and angle flying. Yay. Um, so before I go on to everything here, I just want to introduce Jean. I have known Jean for a few years. I'm pretty blessed at our drop zone. He definitely stops in once in a while to have a little fun and has just really strengthened and delivered some awesome coaching around movement jumps. Kind of a few years ago, I guess, Jean, really in that 2020 era of times in 2021. And we just got to know each other quite well and just saw what he was able to bring to the table. Since then, Jean has just continued to just dive into angle flying, dive in personally for himself and getting a lot of training, going to a lot of camps, getting coaching. We brought Remy out here last year and had just an amazing time with some of the advanced flyers. So it was really cool to see all these novice jumpers watching, guys like Brymo and Derek Clausen and of course Jean, really dialing in their own training. And it started just this pattern of like people really wanting coaching. Movement flying has been around for a while, but I don't think we've ever really gone into quite depth around understanding the safety of all those potential risks it had. Unfortunately, it has taken some of events, very serious events that has happened in Canada and across North America and the world to really start recognizing the movement we've had, no pun intended there, in starting to address all the areas of safety we need to. Currently in CSPA, it is movement flying is not tracking and angle are not in our PIMS. And so through LTAD and the CWC and technical and safety and an amazing group of angle flyers who knew what they were doing, because I did not, we put together an awesome, basically a reference guide or a safety educational reference guide for drop zone owners and sport jumpers to use. I will make sure I tie that link to that document here in the chats going forward. But here we are today with Jean. So I'm going to stop sharing this. Jean actually started skydiving in Alberta. And I mean, I don't know Jean other than in angle flying. So, I know he does some fun stuff on his canopy. I know he'll get out there and have rip a fun belly, I'm sure, once in a while too. But everything I know about Jean is through this. And I also want to mention that Jean, along with Brymo, Derek Clausen, and Emily Corkley, they have this amazing new group that they've started, Keen2Lean. And they're kind of starting out here on the West Coast, building some camps to bring awareness out to track and angle and to bring some safety down to the drop zones. And definitely as a drop zone owner, having those experts in this field and coming to our drop zones and putting on these camps is a lot of work, but it's exciting to see that happen. And I know that all four of them have had immense training and have gone through camps that are like huge. So super excited to have that team all together and Jean here to actually present this presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And Jean, I'll let you speak up here and say hello before I start sharing your presentation.
Cool. I guess this is on, guys. Well, hello everyone. I guess we're all very excited about having a little bit more learning and teaching and little bits about movement jumps. They are becoming very, very popular in the last few years around different drop zones. We're all getting very excited about it, getting very stoked about it. Um, I guess for us, it's this presentation will be a little bit more focused about the safety maybe aspect around the moving jump more than it will be about the detail of the skill itself. Don't worry at all. I did left a little bit of a close for us to have a little bit of fun and talk about a bit about body position and how to be a bit more proficient into tracking into angle flying. But yeah, I guess if everybody is ready, I guess we can start. We can start with it. I try to made as much of a really good PowerPoint movement safety format for everybody to have in their back pocket. You can use this to any of your friends. You can use this to anybody that you know. You can share it to any DZ that you are going to, that you are going to travel to, that everywhere. This thing is it is my take on what I have learned throughout the years. I've been to many drop zones across South America, to Europe, to Canada, and the things that I've learned. I am trying to stay very current and very moving, and I am trying to travel as much as I can. And I do a lot of camps and a lot of training across different countries and across everything that is happening. So this is my take on a little bit that everything that I've learned, I guess, and I would very much like to share all of this with you. I believe I learned a lot from a lot of the really, really great flyers around. So, so yes, bear with me. This is my first time doing this type of meeting. I am very happy, very excited, very. I love you guys all for coming in and going through this with me. Yeah, this is my first time, so yeah, bear with me. I hope this will all make sense and this will help you having a ton of fun. Keep shredding more, keep pushing your boundaries into personal flyer, group of flyer. We love to personally push our boundaries as flyer. We also very much love to fly fast and tight and have tons of fun with our friends. This is I don't know. This is where it's all about. I do a great jump with my friend where we keep all of this. So I guess we have a small little hours into going through a few of the points that I made into this little briefing, safety briefing that I did. So I guess we better just jump on it, and then whatever we get out of it, and people are have a few questions, we'll go through some of them. I would be very happy. There is no questions or no either, even if it's just a little bit of a thought that you have, bring them forward. I would be happy to give you my take on them. And then yeah, there is no there's no bad questions. There's everything is important to go through. I'm happy to answer them. We're here right now, so let's take advantage of it. Yeah. So yeah, we will be dividing a little bit of this um, safety movement briefing into, I would say, 5 major points. I had an extra little point into it, but first we'll go into through the gear and equipment. I think this is a very huge aspect into before even starting to skydive. When it comes to movement jumps, the leaders of a movement jumps are a massive, massive, massive importance into it. Um, they are the one you want to follow. They are the one you want to be stoked through. They are the one you're like, this is sick. You're the one you want to fucking throw your money through it. Like you want to be traveling, spending all your money and following those people. So this is a huge, huge part, I believe, into the movement parts. And then those leaders are bringing as well their knowledge and their safety into briefing you, building jumps for you. They are coming into experience, and this experience come through a lot of the safety, uh, making you a safe future skydiver. Yeah, and the third part of it would be like the movement safety. And the fourth part of it would be a little bit of the exit. There is a few very major parts of the exit that are very important to focus on. And then the body position is a bit of a fun part of it. We'll dial into serious, 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 and then let's just switch a little bit into having a little bit of fun, talking about body position. I made some sketch, I made some pictures, and then everybody can like take this in, bring it into their own DZ, go on some 2 ways, 3 ways, 4 ways. Let's go have some fun, build progression, become a better flyer, be stoked, and then one more. And then the last part of it into this briefing is the break off and landing, which is a massive important. The break off and the landings are I couldn't put more emphasizes through this. All the casualty we get into skydiving are most of it coming through canopy collision or in this area. So we want to try our best to learn as much as we can to avoid those areas. So we will go through a few points into the break off and the landing, so we are able to, I don't know, get the best out of it and make the smartest and the best decision to be able to jump with our friends, bring all our friends back home to the DZ, have a good chat, a good laugh at the end of the jumps, have a good beer, have a good night, and sleep off and have an amazing day the following day. So if all that summers up for everyone, I guess we can, I don't know, we guess we can start going through the first part of it. I believe for everyone, having the proper equipment is a massive important into the safety of starting into angle flying, tracking flying. Any type of flying that it doesn't come from belly static flying requires a different amount of drag and wind that will hit your container and will hit the equipment that you have. We all know we start skydiving. Some people have money, some other people don't have that much money. Some of us were like, yeah, we're fine. We'll spend all this money in this gear. Some other people were like, yeah, well, I can just afford this gear. I'm cool with it. I want this gear. I want to just go and have fun. You can always just buy very good equipment. You can always buy secondhand equipment. My recommendation personally is to always have this secondhand gear checked out by your, like a very recommended or a local rigger. Even if you buy a really old gear, you can always make a few change to your most of your bridle and your closing flap to make sure that none of your bridle will be exposed to the wind once you will go into those jumps where becoming a little bit steeper. Um, those jumps are angle and tracking. Flat tracking is pretty much almost a belly jump. You don't have much relative wind that will hit your rig and will try to mess with your POC and the rest of your gear, but why take a chance, you know?
I'm not sure if it's Jean Internet or mine.
I think it's probably Jean. He is in Mexico right now.
He is in Mexico. So let me we'll see. I know he's trying to hotspot too, so hopefully we can get him on there again. Knowing John, he's still sitting there talking, not knowing.
I'll message him right now.
Yeah, I just did the same. Thanks,
Okay.
everybody. Thanks for your patience as Jean is enjoying Mexico.
Yeah, sorry,
Hey,
guys.
Allison, this is Steve. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Steve.
All right, thanks.
Oh,
I guess
John
we
is
I guess
back.
we
Ah,
forget this.
oh,
My apologies, guys.
That's
we had
okay.
him again. There we go. We'll get right back into it.
I think we're good. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
we're good now.
Okay. Everybody's on point. Perfect. Okay, so that's my first point when it's come through gear. My second point is yeah, inspect your gear, make sure it's all right. If you do have a little bit of money to spare, it's always good to spend a little bit of money on good gears. But we all know we want to skydive, we want to have a bit of fun. We don't have the same funds as everybody else, so we buy what we can buy, or we spend the money on gears that for us is the best. But yeah, have a look around. Keep an eye on on your bridle and your POC, and make sure nothing is sticking out and everything is really tucked in, that your pin cord is all the way through, and yeah, and then you guys should be all right. Um, and then it is a very important thing in skydiving, I believe, that you should never be afraid to speak up when you feel like you're looking at somebody else's rig, and there's, even if you don't think like you have, oh, I haven't jumped in a while, I don't have tons of experience, but this looks weird to me. Speak up. If it looks weird to me, and people are gonna tell you, yeah, whatever, it's all right. Why like? But then if by any chance you said this looks weird to me, and then it's something that could have been potentially dangerous, and then you're like, oh yeah, you cut this off, and then this is great. We'll keep him on the side, fix this up, and then everything's go well. Don't ever be afraid to speak up in skydiving. Keep looking out for your friends. Keep looking out at the rig. Keep looking out at everything that's sticking out that is a rig that doesn't look right. You know what your rig, you've learned from your AFF to your A license what the rig should look like, from your three rings to your handles to the back and the flaps. So whatever seems normal to you, speak up. Don't ever be afraid of it. You probably gonna maybe save a life or save a very shit reserve opening or something. Everybody likes to not have to spend extra money to put the reserve back in if they're not necessary. So yeah, keep this out of the way. Um, let's talk about the first few things you need to do when you get to your DZ. Sometimes we're very antsy. We drive to our DZ, we're stoked, it's a great day. We look outside, there's no cloud, there's no wind. We're like, this is gonna be a sick day. It's amazing. But then we get a DZ, we're like, first hold is about to hit. We have like 10, 15 minutes and people want to get on it. Don't ever forget to turn your AD on. And as much as you can, go out to the loading area. And if you do have a chance and you can think about it, trying to ask around to other people, hey, have you turned your AD on? Is everybody have their AD on? I've been to a few places where there are some people that forget about it, and yeah. So we've turned the radio on last minute. Luckily, we thought about it, so this is amazing. So yeah, we all learn about this in our AFF and into our first license, but we have to check. Let's not get complacent. Let's check all the gear. I do check my gear every single time I'm starting my day. I will open my reserve flap. I will make sure my reserve pin is, I will make sure my main pin is pushed all in. I will make sure everything, I will double look everything, double make sure my AD is open, and then open the rest of my stuff and make sure like my altimeter, my ditter is open, and then I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to go. Let's go. And it is funny because for the first year or two, I was actually misplacing my altimeter left and right. So now I learned to lock it into my close strap of my helmet. So whenever I'm finished a jump and I'm taking it off, I am closing it into my helmet, because it happened once or twice that I am not gonna lie about it, I did forget it, and luckily I am very happy with how I land. I'm very confident, but it's not the case for everyone. So little tips: if you do feel like you want to remove this altimeter, you have a nice chip trap from your helmet, get through it, close it, and then it's always there whenever you pick your helmet and you're running for a load, you know? You never know what's gonna happen. So things are very different to different job zones. You get to loading areas, some loading areas are very, very tight, we looked everybody, but why not give each other a last little pin check? It takes 1 second. We make sure that pin check is in. At the same time, you can run your hand through the back of it, and then you can make sure that little bridle and nothing sticks out, and everybody get in the plane. Everybody is safe. Nothing is sticking out. Nothing is gonna happen coming out of your container while you're either opening the door or while you're climbing outside the plane. Scariest and the most dangerous part is not when you're climbing into the plane, because there is no wind whatsoever, is when the door gets open and then get this huge blast of wind. So yeah, if you do get a chance, give everybody a gear check. It takes 5-10 seconds of your time at the loading area. Sometimes we're there for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, depend. If there's a fuel load, we're there for 10-15 minutes. Why not? Give it a little extra check, you know. And again, anything you see, speak up. We start as new skydiver. I've been there myself. We feel shy, we feel scared of talking about something, but I guarantee you, just say whatever. Whatever you see that takes your eye out of it. Even now or back in the days, I seen things. I was like, I'm not sure if this is wrong. This is a little bit wrong. Should I say something? And then I said something, and then yeah, it was, you know, and then fixed it. And I don't know. May nothing gonna happen. May something gonna happen, but why not speak of it? So I'm sorry. I've been a little bit like a little bit going through this gear and equipment, but I feel like it's a huge part of before we even started skydive, you know. So yeah, any moving jumps, I would highly recommend for the leader to have an audible. Make sure your audible is on before the jump, and have it ready and have it at the set altitude. When I do coach, I like to put my altimeter at least at a 7,500 feet. And I put my break off at 5,500 feet, and then I put my pull altitude at 3,500 feet. If you do not have a quattro, that will risk your chance of not having a dither for your hard deck. So I highly recommend it if you are thinking about going to lead jumps. Like, yeah, I'm really loving leading jumps. This is something I really like to go do. Get a quattro. It will give you an extra space into your dither to set this thing. But then, yeah, dither is a must. It's always very recommended for when after you pass your B license to really get one. It's good to rely on others, but it's also good to rely on something that you can have. And let's talk a little bit about how you treat your gear when you're coming back down through the packing area, or you're coming back down. I treat my gear as that's my baby, you know, in a sense. The main thing that I often see, and the thing that I've seen a lot around drop zone, and I know better than anyone, I will do it once in a while. I will grab my rig and I will drop it on the ground. I will toss it up and drop it. I've throughout my experience and going through other drop zone, I've heard a few things that sometimes dropping a rig from high up, getting it back on the ground, create a little bit of distortion. And then the thing that we don't do is we only look at our reserve pins once before the day. So if you're dropping it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, depends how many jumps you're doing throughout the day. But then this reserve pins can shake a little bit and get a little bit distortion. So I would highly recommend to grab your rig, and instead of dropping it from 2 feet off the ground, why not just placing it on the ground? Make sure it's nice, and then you don't disturb this reserve pin, that it's all there, and you will not check from the rest of the day probably, unless you're like a student and people are looking at it. So I heard this from a few different job zones, and I thought it was a really good point to bring up. As probably now, and for me, I had 1,700 jump, 2,000 jump. It's probably the first time I heard about it, so I'm like, well, maybe it's time to bring this around, you know? So your rig is your life. Your 3 rings are your life. Your pins are your life. So treat this as your baby. I finish a day. I kiss my rig, you know? I give it a good kiss. She's been good to me. So she's been good to me. Nothing happened. I love her. So yeah. And I couldn't say more about the same thing about the canopy. Be nice with your canopy. If you're jumping in different environment where there's sands or whatever, try to not bash it into the sand. Trying to maybe a little bit lower whenever you're packing and whatnot. Make sure you're looking after everything and you're looking after everything and we're jumping, we're looking at our brake lines, and we see those little twists. I'm no better than anyone. I've done a few jumps where it's like, yeah, I see their own twists, it should be fine. Uh, and finally, I do it, you know. But yes, if you could please untwist those brake lines. Brakes are your life. You have 4, 5, 6 twists more than the other. This is an uneven brake. So you untwist it. This is an even break. So once you're about to land and the winds are a bit weird, at least you make sure you have this, I don't know, this total control over your canopy where it gives you a more stable opening, and then you make sure you can walk out of the landing area, have a good laugh with your friend, have a good high five, you had a good jump, and then you can go on the day. We had a few disastrous and very sad casualty last year from some very unreal skydivers that we all love through from some brake lines snapping. So people in Canada have been putting a little bit more emphasis onto replacing the brake lines sooner than later. I believe it is a good thing for all the money we spend into traveling, into our gear, into everything. What is it to spend a few $100s on our brake lines? Look at them. When we pack, every time we pack, we will run through our lines. We know what we learn. You go through your lines. Don't just go through your lines with like, yeah, I'm shaking this, I'm going like packing, let's go for the jumps. It's not going to take more of your time to go through those lines and make sure that everything looks all right. If there's anything that you see that looks a little bit like a burn mark, that you have a little bit of this, I don't know, a little bit of this, those little line set material that are sticking out of the line, like just speak up. Go to your rigger or to any very experienced skydiver at your DZ and ask them, hey, is this look all right? Should I be all right jumping it? Even if you miss a jump, but then I don't know, you live to do another 20,000 jumps. Yeah, put a little bit of emphasis. I'm at 2,000 something jumps and I do it every day. I was in a coaching camp this January. My kill line in my still bag was doing weird. Bang, last minute. I caught it up. I replaced it. I missed the jump. Boom, fine, you know. And then I caught it up on 2 of my brake lines. Something was weird. I missed a jump or two, replaced my brake lines, and then I'm all right. It's not something you want. We all want to like keep jumping. We're in a pace. We like jumping. We want to have a short day. We're at it. It's good. Our friends is in it. But then I don't know. It's worth going through, you know. I want you all to live another day. I do not want to ever have to go through any other of my really close friends going through this. So please have a quick look on your line and your canopy. It is a massive, massive importance into your jumping and every time you're coming down. Treat it as your baby. Treat it as you really care about it. But yeah, so that's my take on it. So let's move to the other point. So leading some moving jump is definitely no joke. I know we all want to have fun. We all been through it. We all go out of the jump. Somebody's on their back. We're following them. We don't really know what's going on. We're just having a good time. We all want to have a good time. But leading a movement jump should be a little bit more than about it. You can always have your friend going out on their back and you going out on your belly, but I would be putting a little bit more emphasis on everybody that's going out on their belly should always be the one that is leading the jump, you know. So you should be the one that is able to be like, yeah, we're going down jump run. We want to go right, we want to go left, we want to go a little bit faster, we want to go a little bit slower. Um, and then your friend on their back can just enjoy having you in front of them. Different drop zone are going to be different places, so we all want to be going there and assess. But a great thing would be that every drop zone will kind of like certify that will make sure that people will be like, yeah, I am leading these jumps, and they are aware and they're ready for them, and they know that they have enough experience for them, and they know the land, the the type of the land that they're flying around, that they know the DZ, they know a little bit the ground, so they're familiar with a little bit with everything. Because a little bit of aspects are very different. Some of the places, if you are like, if you're going to different drop zone, it will be a little bit different, but always a little bit the same. The jump run will always go some ways. Depends on what the winds are doing. Sometimes the winds will come in a certain way. They will come in a certain way. It is good to go in a certain way where you want this wind to bring you back to the drop zone instead of going to a certain way where you will be fighting this wind to come back to the drop zone. Especially if you have some types of canopy who are a little bit big, it is always recommended to go to a place where this wind will push this canopy. Bigger canopy, harder to go through wind. Smarter canopy, easier to go through wind. So I highly recommend to follow someone that it's a bit that has a little bit more knowledge about the DZ where you're at, you know, or have someone that have general knowledge or general experience about leading jumps and is getting knowledge about the new DZ or the place they're going where this things very much matter. I can go throughout the same day and doing the same jumps, and sometimes throughout the day I might go left and I might go right under the plane. It doesn't matter. I'm assessing everything that's going on by when I'm getting down and when I'm going back to the landing area and when I'm looking at the windsocks, and what everything can change from day to night. So so yeah, keep this very in mind. Have someone as a leader that will have knowledge, or if you are someone that is very new and is like, yeah, I like to really want to lead a jump and whatever, it's okay. You know, we all have been to drop zone where drop zone sometimes are a little bit smaller. We have a bunch of the same jumpers wires together, but why not keep learning? Why not going at the board, looking at the wind, asking the drop zone, and making a scheme for yourself. Oh, the jump run is there. I want to, boom, I want to exit there. The winds are coming this way. Why not? I will fly there, and then the wind will push me back. Keep asking at the spot. Keep looking at the ground speed. Keep in mind what the winds are doing. If you're going out and then the winds are, I don't know, 85, you know, and you're going out the plane, you know this wind is not too crazy. You should be pretty fine. But then it's like the ground speed up there is at 90, 100. You know this thing is blasting. You do not want to be facing towards the wind. So this is my little take on leading a jump from what the thing you should be looking at. And the last thing I want to really emphasize on, and I've been caught out to this once or twice, always look the spot. No matter what the pilot says, no matter when the grid line is out, stick your head out, look at it, look where the drop zone is. If you feel like you're offset to the left, offset to the right, you're too much forward, you're too much backward, your job as a leader is to bring all of your people in a safe place to open, and they are be able to get back to the drop zone. So have this in mind. Stick your head out of the plane. Check the spot more than once. Always check the spot, not just once a day. At the end of the day, every single jumps. That's my little emphasis on this. yeah, second thing about like the leaders, I know sometimes we really like and we often go and like, yeah, I'm gonna lead, I'm gonna go on my back, and then you just follow me, and it's and this shouldn't be a thing. You should always trying to, anybody that leads a jump should always be on their belly. You should always have a clear vision of the ground at all time. And that even comes into any types of movement. When we are doing some head up movement, or we're doing some belly movement, if I'm on my head up, I want to fly my belly off the ground so I can look the ground always. I do never want to fly back to the ground so I cannot see anything. And the same thing applies to my head down tracking or my head down belly. So when I want to track, I want to always be able to look at the ground. I'm like, because you never know. Maybe you get out of the plane and the jump run is right over the is right over the runway. Sometimes you have a drop zone where there's no runway because you took off like far away. So you want to be to have a clear vision of where your spot is and be able to be like, we're flying, we're good. Oh, we're getting a bit too far. Why not just turn and then we're at the right place? So always have someone flying on their belly. Um, you might have seen some video where people are like, they're flying on their back, they're leading some jump, they're pointing people out, but those are like very experienced flyer. There are like probably like 20,000 jumps, 15,000 jumps, and those amount of time when they're flying on their back and they're leading a jump is like a very short amount. They're probably going to be doing something and then flying on their back, doing a bit of carving, flying back on their belly, and then going. Um, so I would always try go out, have fun, somebody on their back, but their person on the belly should always be the one that you want to be following this person no matter what. No matter what, you want to be following this person. So this is my little take on a little bit of the leader, and I couldn't say more about like really guys trying to work your way into being a leader and follow the person that it's on the belly, and the person on the belly should it's always fun to follow their friend and look at their friend, but take a second to look around. I look the ground, I look around, I look up and down, I make sure people are going to be in a good place to be able to get back to the jobs on safety. We all get taught how to land off. We all do not like to do it. So why doing it? It's just not doing it if we can. So as a leader, yeah, the person that's lead the jump should be like a little bit experienced into leading jumps, should have at least worked a little bit with coaches and have gone through some leading and taking some maybe leading courses. I've done only 2 leading courses in my 2000 jumps. It doesn't mean that everybody's going to have to do it, but then you can ask me, anybody that you know in this environment that have a bit of experience, they will be more than happy to give you as much information as they can. We know things doesn't work as well as the same, so let's just be realistic. We are a drop zone. I've came from a drop zone where we've done things maybe not the right way. But why not to maybe trying to get educated the right way now if we can have access to this information. Um, so yeah, so please, if you haven't um, done a lot of leading, maybe either ask anybody around the drop zone that have more experience. If they do not, they will probably gonna refer you to someone. Me myself, you can send me a text, a video. I would be happily go through video call with you any time of the evening. I would give you all the information that I can to just make sure everybody's safe. So yeah, but then if you can go out there, get some learning, get some leading course, get get much learning and information you can. It's always very important and very great if you can have someone that did the jump that is very familiar with the drop zone, or at least have a lot of experience where you can read the jump run, you can read exactly what's going on in the drop zone with winds and stuff. So, so yeah, please do the same. Trust the people you're going to be following, and then the people who are going to be leading a jump. You have a huge responsibility to have all those people are going to be following you regardless. Like I don't even know what example I can make. They're following you. They're not going to be realizing what's going on around them and where they're going to be at. So please put a bit of effort. Make sure everybody come back. It's It's massive important. Try your best. It might not happen all the time. Maybe sometimes you might land off. I did land off a few times, but let's try our best to be, to be the best as we can. Every day the winds are going to be very different from free fall and canopy altitude, from jump 1 to jump 6 to jump 8. Things are going to be very, very different. So keep your mind on it. Keep asking the pilot before every jump run. Everything that's going on. Is the wind coming from the south? Is it a good push? Is it a not too bad push? Oh yeah, it's a crazy push. Well, maybe I shouldn't go all the way over there because I'm gonna have a hard time coming back to DZ. Some DZ are fine. Some DZ are surrounded with trees. Nobody likes to land in the trees. I never experienced that myself. I do not ever want to experience that myself. So please ask, talk. Don't just stay in your cocoon sometimes where we just think about ourselves and we don't talk. If you're leading at jumps, ask as much experience as you have. It is a really great thing sometimes if you know the person that you're going to be jumping with throughout the jumps and you know their capability and you know their experience and you know where they're coming from. Fine, keep pushing, keep having fun together, keep doing those 2, 3, 4 ways, keep progressing. If you are getting somebody that doesn't know where you don't know that person very well, ask him a few questions. What is your jump number? Where you at? How many jumps have you done in the last bits? And then if you feel a little bit uncertain about the answer he's giving you, why not asking him to show you a last little video that one of the jump he did? We all have ones of those on our phone, so he can show you one, and then that might give you a little bit of like, oh, maybe he's good, maybe shouldn't come on the jump. So yeah, and that comes into like have the confidence sometimes as a leader to be able to tell people like, yeah, I don't think you have this experience to come into jumps. Maybe hold on to this one. I would be very happy to come jump with you after just me and you, and then we can see where you're at. And then if I'm happy, we'll bring you, and then maybe we'll split some groups, and then we'll do a little bit smaller ways or bigger ways. As a leader, it comes into your responsibility to be able to let people know that they're not allowed in the jump. It might suck. We don't want that. We all want everybody to be part of it, but sometimes you have to make this decision, and this is not a nice decision, but it's a decision that you're gonna have to make at some point. Yeah, make it a little bit of a briefing. Briefing are very important. Brief your jumps. Explain the plan and where you want to go, where you want to plan, what people should be doing, and yeah, and dirt diving is a massive, massive thing into making a jump successful as a leader. Have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 for dirt dive. They will make your jump more successful. We all love to jump. We all love the thrill of skydiving. We all get very pumped in the plane, pumped before the plane, like on the way going there, pumped before the night before we even going to skydive. Some people might sleep weird at night. Some people might not sleep at all. We all really love it. So let's just look out for each other. Be very aware of all those little things. Trying to follow someone that's a little bit more experienced, even if it's this person's gonna feel a little bit redundant, like he's leading all the jumps, until somebody else gain enough experience to finally be at it. Let's do this. Let's try to just follow a little bit the above point, and if you think that is something that resonate with you, please, those things are very, very important, and they will make all of your jumps more successful, and everybody will be sure to come back to any drop zone. So yeah, let's bring all our friends safe and sound back to the easy. We all love that. So yeah, let's go into a little bit of the movement safety. Movement into the sky is a little bit of a no joke. We all really like to do moving jumps as a moving leaders. It is our ultimate responsibility to never come into any ways back close to the jump run to feel like to be like close to any other group of people who are falling straight down. Skydiving came to a point where we all fall straight down from a point, and then we all like to move away. So our responsibility as leader when it's come to movement jumps is to never, ever, ever go back to a place where this jump run is. It is very important. It will never be the free fly or the belly group. If it ever comes to a point where those people are close to you, it will always be your fault. No matter what, no matter how you're not gonna like it, it's gonna be a point of like you led your jump very, very badly. I experienced that a few times. I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy about it. Never came to a place where it was a close call, but come to a place where it was something to talk about. Make sure your movement jumps are safe and they're very, very, very great experience. The importance of talking through this in your loading area. It is very, very easy when you're at a place where there's only a Cessna drop zone to feel like it is not that much important because you only have one or two groups and maybe three group max. So it's very easy to have one, two, bang. The rest of the groups is fine. But it is good to try to learn about it because the second you're going to be going to any other drop zone, any other event, you're going to be in a plane where there's going to be 20 people or 15 people. This thing matters so much. Like I couldn't even emphasize the amount of all this thing matters actually. So trying to learn as much as you can, trying to always keep this in mind, trying to talk a lot about your other groups who are in the plane. Even if we're in the Cessna drop zone, we're six in the plane. Sometimes we can have three groups: one belly, one moving, one free fly, one moving, one free fly. It doesn't matter. These things have a very, very, very a lot of importance. You're like, I'm gonna be free flying. I'm gonna be coming there. I'm gonna be moving. I'm gonna be making sure. I'm gonna be going away from jump run, and I am going to be free flying. So I am going to be very apart from the others. Respect the ground speed of the plane. Separation matters a lot from being there or from being there. This is a huge thing. So yeah, keep that in mind. It is very, very important. Even if you're jumping at a job zone that just have a Cessna or just have a plane where there's 10 people, have a plane where there's 15 people, or there's a plane that has 20 people. This thing matters. Keep asking a lot around. And then if you go to job zone and people feel that there might not be the great thing as you leading a jump, they will probably try to give you someone that should be comfortable leading a jump when there's a lot of people around. So yeah, that should be a thing. And then let's dive into something that's maybe not the nicest thing to talk about. Like, should I be doing a movement jumps at all? Um, if you're not already a little bit like my recommendation is I believe you should be a little bit of an accomplished belly and not necessarily free fly flyer, but at least belly flyer. At least have those skills where the belly flying where you can do the dive, do the dock, moving away is you're on it. You know, you got this. You have a good body control, you have a good awareness, and your breakoffs are very, very clean. And you have done a little bit of you have done a lot of those break off tracking drills and everything, and all of this is around. I know some of the people we come from those drop zones. Some drop zones are a little bit smaller than others. We don't all come from Skydive Chicago or other like crazy drop zones in the States where it's like you get this amazing learning and amazing like crazy flyer all the time. So just stay aware. Just keep asking questions, keep learning. We might have gone to some jumps where you're leading jumps, but then you come down and you had a lot of fun, but then it was a bit of a hard to come back. It was a bit hard to maybe land and everything. And so why not ask a question about what can I do better? I think it's very important. I understand the fact of like we all just want to go out and want to have fun, and we might not respect all the little basic rules. You know, I may not be the perfect person to respect all the rules all the time. But something that matters to me a lot is make sure I come back and I bring all my friends back and I keep learning all the time. So no matter what you're doing, if you feel like you have a little bit of doubt in yourself, trying to get the role to somebody else to lead the jump that might have a bit more experience than you that feels a bit more confident, you know. Even if it's for a few jumps or after the season, this whole process of learning how to skydive is not a rush. So yeah, so please do that. So let's jump into the. Should I jump into the group of the side of the jump? Please be always very honest about your skills and where you're at into your skydiving progression. I've been through a lot of places where people say, "Yeah, I'm good. I know all the angle. I'm doing this and doing all the jump is a freaking mess, you know." And this guy or this person is very dangerous. Um, so please be very honest. Go into the group of the jumps that you feel like it's safe to you. So and if you're very new to the job zone, get some coaching, get some approval from your DZ, get the leader to like really approve from you to go on. And if it's a little bit too much for you, get a little bit more of the 2 ways and 3 ways and get out and practice a little bit more. And I don't know, get this going for you. I guess we can switch to the other point. Yeah, and the person that should be in charge of the moving should be a very experienced leader. I've worked a little bit with coaches and I've taken a little bit of some leading course, and it doesn't have to be like crazy, but at least I've done a little bit. Be very familiar with the job zone. That's a huge thing. Know the direction of the job zone. It's also a very massive thing. Know the days of the winds and the free fall. Please keep asking questions. Keep following about it. Yeah, keep asking questions. Keep knowing the experience and the capability of each jumper on your jumps. Yeah, and have confidence the people that they're gonna be flying above you, that you know you can trust them. And if not, maybe split the group in two, and maybe instead of having a 6-way, have 2 3 ways, and everybody can have a better good time, you know. If you can and you have knowledge, trying to brief people that have less knowledge, give them this best as much as they can, and things will come into this thing will come back and forth, and everybody can learn out of it. So, yeah, this is a good thing. We can move out to the next page. Dirt dive are massive. Plan where you're going to think like you're going to be opening. Your flight plans. If you have a map of your DZ, I'm like, I'm going to be flying there, I'm going to be going there, and then boom, this is where I want to open. You may not open right there, but then that's going to give you kind of like a direction, and then you're not going to really have to think about it too much during your jump, and then at least you know you're like, the winds are coming like this. I want to open there. I want the winds to push me. I don't want to go there, and then the winds are going to be against me. And then if you have a few groups, you always want one groups to go one way, one groups to go the other way. Depending on where you are, you're traveling through down the jump run. I would always leave the first group that wants to go where they're gonna have the winds in their back, the first out, and then the person that's gonna have a little bit, maybe the winds a little bit in their front, I want them to go a little bit second, because the winds will always come towards you down the jump run. So you want to go in the places where this wind will carry you back to the drop zone. And if you are going to be the group that's going to leave and is going to go away from the wind, don't try to make your trajectory completely away from the jump run. You know those persons are going to go there, those other persons are going to go there. You don't need to veer off 90 degrees and keep going all the way for the whole jump. So keep all those things in mind, talk to the other group, and have everything planned. Some jumps, if you're going to be doing some transition from angle to maybe belly or maybe free fly, have this in mind. I'm gonna go do a little bit of tracking, and then I'm gonna go free fly after 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna be head up the whole time, where your jump becomes almost a free fly. So then you're part into this place, into the, I don't know, the successions of where you're gonna be into the groups might be different a little bit. And then if you're like, if I'm gonna go a little bit belly, and then I'm gonna go tracking a little bit, but then I'm gonna spend half of the time on my belly, all those things matters a little bit. So keep this in mind, keep talking, keep everything in line. So yeah, this matters a lot. Where you plan to open is a huge thing with your canopies. So also keep that in mind. Keep the winds in mind. Keep the jump runs in mind. we all whenever you're doing a movement jumps, it's always very great when you're assessing the weather and there's a lot of clouds that to maybe have a plan B. Sometimes you're gonna go out and then if you're going out and you're opening the door and you're looking at a spot and you cannot see the ground whatsoever, it is covered with clouds the whole time. Just go do a free fly. Just go do a belly jump. Even if you're the first group and the group behind you are a belly, just go do a belly jump. It doesn't matter. Um, you need to have a plan B in case you have completely coverage of the ground and you cannot see where you're going. Just don't just go out and it's full of clouds and just yeah, I'm gonna go still do my tracking jumps and I don't see at all where I'm going. Um, it isn't a very great idea. I always have a plan B if this happens. Any person that I've been through a leading jump always have a plan B. So please keep this in mind. It is a great thing to have. We all can look at the weather and see that clouds are happening. So plan this accordingly. It is a great thing to have in the back of your hand. The thing that you how can you make sure that your group will not be in the group airspace at full time? This is always about being to talk about what other groups are doing in the loading area. Make sure people are going accordingly to others. And even if you can, make sure you can even plan your groups to your DZO or to the people who are building your load accordingly. There's some job zone down in the States where you have to go at the manifest and have to say what you're going to do, and they will put you in line where you need to be. It is a huge thing. Be aware of it. Trying to plan really accordingly. And if you're not sure about where you should stand in the line of the group of people, ask a tandem, ask even a TI. You know, they have a lot of jump, they have a lot of experience. They might give you more insight than you might have. Ask anybody that has more experience than you. It will often be a win-win case. So I guess that covers it up. Yeah, communication with the rest of the load is a massive important. I think we've been through a little bit of this point in the last point. Yeah, but as your role as a leader in the moving jump, it is even more important. Even if you told your DZO or your manifest what you're going to do as a jump, it's your job to just stay away from the other group. So and then if you can and you can explain them to be I'm going to be going there, I'm going to be opening there, why not? Might give them an opportunity for them to understand where exactly you're going. um so when you're doing a movement jumps, you are intentionally going away from the spot of the airspace of your group that will occupy tracking. It's easy and very fast for you to cover a lot of ground, so be very aware. For you, you should set yourself a boundaries by knowing your landscape. You should be like, that's my DZ, that's the line of this. I do not want to pass this line. The DZ is there. This is a mile out. I do not want to pass this area. I want to be able to turn at some point to come back into a way where I'm not going to be away from the wind. So if you're short, the winds are coming this way, you might not want to turn away from the wind. You might want to turn a little bit in the sense where you're going to be following in places where the wind is going to leave you. Be very careful to not ever turn around and come back towards jump run. So yeah, so leading a jump is like a massive important. You never stop looking around and assessing and adjusting and making sure that everybody is where they should be, or at least the best that you can take them that they should be. So yeah, if things happen, I think they happen. You know, we all make mistakes trying to keep the best of it. But as long as you're going away from jump run and you have your line of safety where you're like, this is jump run, this is a mile out. I do not want to pass a mile out. And at least a mile away from the jump run is already a really, really good distance for you to never be able to come close to other group jumps. Yeah, time of day is a very critical spot. Winds are very different at drop zone. Sometimes higher winds in the morning, lower winds in the evening. We get very like low winds when it comes to sunset, very faster approach. We do not want to land off when we're pushing the last sunset jump, because landing off when it gets dark, it's not the fun thing. And then it also gets often at the sunset, the winds are dying down, so it's faster. So you don't want to land off when it gets faster. Yeah, during the jump, the leader should always keep awareness of the group location, the flight skills, and should always be able to adjust. If you're setting yourself on a path, don't just go straight and never look what you're doing. Keep looking at the ground, keep looking what's going on. If you have to turn left, you have to turn right, you have to make a little bit of movement. People, regardless, will just follow you, because that's pretty much what they do in the jump. They just follow you. They keep their eye on you and they follow you. So do adjustment. Don't just focus on the people who are flying. Focus on what's going on around you on the ground. Look left and right, down, adjust. Course corrections are, yeah, please, massive thing sometimes. I do sometimes some jumps, and then I'm doing this move, and this and transition, and then I'm at 6,000 feet. I am not where I want to be. I will hook at 180 like at the end of the jumps. It doesn't matter if I am turning really, really drastically for the last 1,000 feet. I do want people to actually head towards a place where they will be breaking off in a good situation. The only little thing about it is, if you hear your break off dither and it's time to break off, do not make sudden adjustments. Adjustments should only be made before break off altitude. Make your adjustment a little bit before. If it ever happened that you're like, I'm not at the right place that I want to be, I want to make this correction, and then your break off dither is ringing, don't make direction. Break off time, people want to go, you're doing something, and then people will be crossing lines. You do not want that. So direction should only be made a little bit prior to your break of altitude. So those are a few things to keep in mind. So yeah. I guess that goes through over this. Opening altitude are very important. Please respect the opening altitude you're going through. If you know that your spot is going very long, you're like, I'm the last one in the group after 6-7 people, I probably want to open a little bit higher, because I know I'm the last in the group, or I'm the second last. I'm having a long spot. So yeah, those little things matters. If you're the last group in the plane, you might have a longer spot, so please keep that in mind. Open it a little bit higher. Might just be like the best thing you can do for yourself. Don't ever open at the higher altitude that your drop zone are allowing to. They often allow this restrictions of altitude opening because there is either military air trafficking, constricted air trafficking. There is other aircraft than just the skydiving aircraft. So all of those things really matter. So respect what your drop zone rules are. This is the most important thing to go through. Our chance of landing off when we do moving jumps can get a little bit higher. But if you're trying to put a lot of emphasizes on all the points that I made before, I would say your risk would highly decrease, but they might happen. We all learn very much from our student places and from your student time how to land off. We all know how to do it. We all know how to read the winds. We all know where the winds is coming from. So if you are coming from a very, 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 very long spot and you have a little bit of a doubt that you're not going to make it, do not try to come back to the DZ and be through the canopy traffic area unless you're absolutely sure that you can make it to the pattern. The landing patterns are very important. People sometimes go into the pattern and they won't be looking around that much. So be very, very 100% sure that this is in back of your mind. We know how to land off. Make your decision earlier than later. You're like, I don't think I'm gonna make it, but then I was like, oh, I can make it. I'm gonna keep pushing. Like why? 99% of the time I turn around, I find a place where I like to land, and I just did land. I'll walk 10 minutes, I'll miss a load, but then everything is fine. So it's better to make a decision earlier than later. My little trick about if I'm gonna land off or not, if I look at the drop zone and I am flying towards it in my eye level and I'm getting altitude over my horizon, I know I'm gonna make it. If I keep looking at the drop zone from far away and the whole time this thing is staying on my horizon level and I'm getting lower, I know I'm not gonna make it. So at some point, if I'm after half of the time I'm flying and this thing is just on my horizon, I am gonna push this away, focus on something else, and land off. So canopy collision are no joke. They are the worst we can have in skydiving. So don't even push it. Land off. We all learn how to do it. We all know how to do it. So yeah. Yeah, sky is massive, but it can get very constricted when it's time to land. So yeah, make sure we all safe and get to play safe all together. Uh, yeah, we all get very. So let's start talking about exit and body position. Exit is going to be a little bit of a serious business, and then we get into a little bit of the fun business. Exit of a skydiving position is a massive important into the sky because we all seen and we all seen videos of crazy opening, like premature opening right after the door and stuff. So for me, it happened once that we had a few people in the plane in the King Air. We made 13,000 feet in like 7 minutes. I didn't check my POC. I pushed this thing through. I went out. I had a hard time finding it, and I went to reserve because I actually didn't went through all my stuff. If I would have been once and look at my stuff, everything would have been fine. So now, when I get to 8 or 9,000 feet, and before I enter the plane, I will look through all my all my flaps and all my rings and all my handles as much as I can. When it gets to 9,000 feet, usually if I'm exiting at 12,000, 12,005, I will always go to my three rings, to my skyhook system. I will run down my hands and I will make sure my velcros and my cutaway and my reserve handles are perfectly in place. I will continue to run down, make sure my leg straps are in place, make sure my chest strap is in place, and then I will start running my hands back into my handle, make sure it's at the right place. And then if I cannot reach my main flap, I will ask for someone to look at it. So yeah, I probably go through like 4 or 5 times, um, at least my main handle. The rest of my equipment I go once or twice, but my main handle, I whenever they open the door, whenever I get into the plane, whenever I sit down, whenever I move, I always do this. So make sure all your stuff are in place. When you're ready to go, it is really good if you can strap your helmet a little bit before. I've seen 1 or 2 people losing their helmet out the door. Maybe a bit dangerous for people on the floor, and you may not want to spend again some money on it. So yeah, do all of this. It is very important to triple check, and the second you get at least 3,000 to 4,000 feet before altitude required, check all your stuff 2 or 3 times. It's better. It's really good. Whenever you move in the plane, whenever you exit the plane, please cover your main handle cover and make sure that your flaps are all right. We do sometimes move in the plane, we sit down, we're rubbing against leg, we're rubbing against the seat. Me personally, whenever I will be moving, I will always grab my hand and I will cover my main handle and I will move after I cover my main handle. This is a huge part for me. Um, so yeah, and then at least if you can notice that something is wrong or something that it's, oh yeah, I'm touching my main handle, my POC, it's not really great. And then you can ask a friend, it's like, oh, does it look good? And then your friend can either say, yeah, it's perfect, you're good to go. Oh no, wait a second, I'm gonna pull this thing, I'm gonna push this thing through a little bit for you. I'm gonna make sure your bridle is good. The pilot has the right to say. Whenever the pilot says something, listen. We should never shout or yell at each other in the plane. Sometimes the pilot last minute, the door can be open and the green light can be go. You're like ready to go, and then suddenly the lights turn red, and then the pilot is yelling something. Get back in the plane, sit down, make sure that everything is good. If it has to, the pilot's gonna do another turn around and it's gonna drop you. So yeah, you may have other aircraft under you. You may have something that is happening in the plane. So the pilot says it all. The pilots is the voice to listen when it's come to if any emergency comes to the plane. So listen to them clearly. It is a big thing to listen to. If anybody else in the plane as a jumper is telling you go out, and then you look at it and the green light turns to red, you do not listen to any jumper, regardless of how experienced you are. If it has to, and you sit down and then you miss the spot, the pilot will turn around and make another turn and go around the spot and give you a better place to jump out. But yeah, the only person that has the right to say anything when it's come to this is the pilot. Listen to the pilot. He says it all. So yeah, pilot rules it all, and the planes. Listen to them. Let's get a little bit into the fun stuff. Body position. Let's come to tracking and angle. We often get told, around the drop zone when we should be tracking, we should be putting pressure. We should be putting pressure on the leg and putting pressure on the rest of the parts of our body. Flying is a little bit of a part of aerodynamics. It's the aerodynamics of a body movement. We are not of a steady plane. We're not of a plane where we're made of metal. We do have moving limbs, but the rules that says it all about aerodynamics is drags. If you feel any hard pressure, you feel any drag, any forms of drags is a form of slowing down. You do want to think about your body as you want to think about like as an extension. You want to bring this in a very aerodynamics ways for your body to be as much efficient as flying, almost like as a little plane. If you think about like your Cessna or any other plane, do you see the plane doing this? Like there's no plane that's doing this, They will probably be opening some flaps, moving some things back, but they will always keep this aerodynamics. So this is my suggestion. If you ever think about working on things and things are feeling different ways and like I'm going and it's like I'm feeling all this pressure and everything, well, it's probably sometimes good to release all this pressure. The second thing about like tracking, and it's always very important for everyone to start really tracking very efficiently and have a little bit of free fly skills before trying to do a little bit of angle flying. But all about it is intention. If you're going on your belly, your intention is to put your body towards where you want to go. If you want to fly on your back, this is where your back you want to fly your back towards the wind. It's all about intention. Tracking is the same. Your intention is going to be your head, where you want the head to penetrate the wind. Your intention is going, if you have your hand here, your head, well, you don't have the intention to go where you want to go. Have the intention and then stretch the body. But the first entry of the wind should be the intention that you want to go. If you're trying some things and you're like, yeah, I'm having all this intention, this is really great, I'm going fast, but then you're like, I am rocking. Well, slow down. You know this is great. You're comfortable with this. Go again. Slow down, go again. It may take 10, 15 times, but at some point you'll be like, I'm going. There's no wobbling anymore. I realize that I have all this pressure that makes me do it, and then I release the pressure. So yeah. So that's my little quick taste on it. And if anybody has any question down the road, my message is open. I do quite work a bit during the day, during the week, but I will always be free whenever I get the chance to either video chat or answer anybody questions whatsoever. Even if you guys want to throw me some videos, I can answer you back. I can help you guys with some of the video and the jumps you already did. This is my pleasure. I attached a few of the links down there from one of the guy in It's called Down Under Dynamics. He does a little bit of intro about like a beginning tracking, beginning angle flying. It is amazing. I still get most of my teaching about whatever. I got this coaching last weekend about head-up flying. I was watching a bunch of his video on the plane before I even get on. I still get most of my coaching online. They're amazing. They put a lot of effort. They're really on it. So yeah, click the link, go see them, give them the views. Mason Corby is unreal flyer. Is yeah, he's a machine. So yeah, please do so. So yeah, I would say change of speed when it comes to tracking and go flying. I would say I would say a lot of people sometimes have this tendency of maybe we want to break those knee, and you know, a lot of people teach like we can break those knee and we can slow down. You have a lot of range with those things. Think as those arms as your wings, you know, those arms as those wings. You do not want to grab the air with your hands, but you want to use them more sideways of your body. So more like this, not like this. So if you feel like I'm flying, I'm going very fast, I want to slow down, before you want to break your body like this, I would just, you can fly like this for the whole jump with having your leg very, very stretched out. And then if you're going like this, and you're like, I'm still going very faster than everybody else, well, it's time to maybe start bringing a little bit of your legs. Because as we talked before, drag is resistant and is going to slow you down. So a little bit of the drags towards your leg is going to slow you down. But I would really, really play with those wings and have those legs fully stretched out for the whole part of your jumps. Yeah, it's a little bit. And then it's just going out and practicing. Go out to practice, go out with your friend, practice. Look like Jesus on the cross for a few jumps. And then, yeah, and then a little bit less Jesus on the cross, a little bit more. But there's a certain point. You should not pass more of like your shoulder heights. But this is my way of the speed, and that works into going this way. You're opening sideways, you're creating drag, it's slowing down, you're releasing the drag, it's going faster. All about drag and pressure. Changing the pitch, you know, if somebody is flying here and you are flying there, and you will want to change a little bit of your pitch to go towards those person. My first main, very, very, very main important things is if the person is flying there, never wants to dive towards the person. You should always pick a place beside the person and think about it like it's a highway, you know? Everybody has their lane. So if I'm here and the person that I'm following is here, I never want to change my pitch and go at them. I would always want to follow a place where I have this free lane where there's literally no one there and I cannot put anybody in danger, and always do it very smoothly. And the change of the pitch will be the intention. The upper body of your chest is always more heavy than the rest of your body. So sometimes we're going onto the wind by sometimes just taking a good breath and letting all the weight of our chest, pushing it, just letting it fall a little bit will make this change of pace, you know, will change this change of pitch. Do everything smooth, do everything very, very relatively, go a little bit at a time. If this person is going like this and you're like this, remember, if you're going in a different angle, you always want to match the same angle as the person way before you arrive. If you're diving and the person is there and you're changing your pitch, then you will just disappear under. So we learn about inertia when we belly. You're coming, you're stopping, it's carrying you forwards. Tracking is the same. You're diving, going, this inertia will keep bringing you forward. So inertia is a huge thing. So yeah, change. Think about all of this. Smooth is fast and fast is smooth. So do everything smooth, do everything safe. Keep an eye on your leader. Fly always beside anybody in your jump, and yeah, keep everything safe. Yes, we can. So I made those little sketch. So this is a little bit where the wins will come from and what will help you. The first 1 and 2 ones, this is really just all for you. Keep that in your pocket. Keep at it. You want to have more of a aerodynamics ways of your body. You know, if you keep breaking your knees too forwards, they will hit a lot of wind. If you keep having your belly too arched down, it will also, and your arms too up, it will create a lot of drags. If you have your belly way too forward, it will also create too much drag. If you have like your like maybe the back of your rig and your butt way too high and your arms way too low, it would also create a lot of drags. So yeah, you should stop at least when you want to bring your knee to pretty much this position on the first picture I draw. You want to keep this hair to keep flowing away from your body. If you're creating resistance, it's okay to slow down, but then you want this air to stay fluid around you. And one of the massive things that it's come to moving jumps is eye contact. You should always have an eye contact on everything that's going on. So yeah, this picture and the ones after and the third after, it's all for you. It's all just for trying to work on those little things, you know. Keep practicing on the ground, keep doing those little reference, you know, move. It's like if you see yourself in some videos that you have your knee too high, or you have your hips too down, or you have your hips too low, or your knee too forward, well, it's good to try on the next jumps to get a little bit less of those things, you know. All about intention of the winds coming from somewhere, hitting somewhere, and then moving away. But yeah, I just added a picture or two about a little bit of this kind of like principle, you know. You can see that I'm moving my arms a little bit more sideways on my body instead of having it more backwards and more forwards. So I want to keep this hair stream very, very towards my body. So that would be a little bit of a great position to try to fly on your belly. Little trick is to keep your neck, keep your body stretched out. You want to feel like you're stretching your body like this, and you want to feel like your back is pushing against your rig. So every time I am flying, I'm always thinking like my back wants to push against my rig, and I want to stretch my neck out, and I want to pull the top of my head and the back a little bit of here where I want to go. And then I stretch the rest of my body, and I don't think too much about the rest. This is the upper body. This is more where the emphasis on my thinking during the flying is. So yeah. And then the picture after that is a little bit for back flying. This is a little bit like next level, you know. I am back flying with a little bit of a break. I'm adjusting, but I'm a little bit the same. I have my streamline of my body very in a streamline. I am not breaking in a sense. I am not going, or I'm not having the rest of my body like hitting too much drag. Streamline is the key. You feel pressure, you feel drag, you will be slowing down. So whenever you feel pressure, release the pressure. Work on it. Keep watching a video. Keep learning. Keep asking questions. Keep talking to each other and trying to get better every jump. I'm still doing it. You know, 2,500 jumps later. Breakoff and landings are huge in skydiving. Breakoff is, I don't know if I can say the most important part of the jump if it's not coming out of the plane. When it's time to break off, if everybody has audible, listen to your audible. Sometimes maybe the leader audible might not work on this jump, so listen to your audible and and keep moving away from the jumps. So yeah, when it's come to movement jumps, usually the leader will give you a sign when it's time to break off. The first thing that we want to do when we break off out of movement jump, we do not want to break off, boom, go away. We want the first thing that we want to do, the thing that really works and to break off is speed. So we're flying together. The first thing you do want to do is build speed. You will build as much speed as you can. And then the second part of the break off is to always look around. So before you even start moving left or right, you want to be, oh, there's no one there. I have the leader on this side. I have one friend there. I am good. This is my line. You always want to be looking left and right. And when you're breaking off, it is a constant places where I'm always looking left and right to the people beside me. I'm not just breaking off and never looking what's going to happen. So yeah, speed is your friend always. If anything comes very weird or you have somebody in the same area as you, don't ever start slowing down and making the adjustment. Just keep going as fast as you can. Go even faster. Sometimes you're like, oh, we're here, we're at the same places, but I don't know what to do. If you just keep going, it will take 1.5 seconds. You will be completely out of the way. If by any chance, and it did happen to me, you're in the same area, somebody move and they come and they're moving and they come close to you and they're under you. The priority comes to the people that are on their belly. The priority comes to the people that has a visual and the other person. So the person that has more visual, you have the responsibility in a sense. It's not like if it's something, it just becomes your responsibility to work for both people. So either trying to move a little bit away. If it's really low altitude and it's pull time, trying to move away, and then vertical separation is your friend. You are the one that has visual on the other person. Look at your person, make sure this person open, and it usually takes 1 second or two, and then you can pull your parachute. And this vertical separation will give you the best outcome. It's never the thing that you want to do. You never want to do that. But if it ever happened, and it might happen, and it happened to me a few times, vertical separation would be the key. The person that has a visual became your responsibility. So make the best decision as you can, and this is pretty much all you can do. So yeah, that's my little honest opinion about it. So yeah, and actually. So I guess yeah, I pretty much sums it all. Yeah, exactly. If anything happened and you guys are close to each other, the person that has a visual can make the best decision. So trying to be smart, trying to be aware. Speed is your friend. So even if it happens, sometimes even if you're like, oh, this person is below me, we're at 3,500 feet right now. He's about to pull. He's making his move. Don't just stay there. Just go as fast as you can and keep looking at him, even for 1 second. Look at him pull, and then pull your parachute. Speed is your friend on break off. Always go as fast as you can. Keep speeding together, and then breaking off in a way where you will not make any sudden drastic move. You will make everything like it's understandable for people around you. Don't make any sudden move, and then follow everything. Landings are also a big thing. Once your canopy are open, keep looking around before you get your slider down. Some people sometimes will open and then their canopy will open very weirdly, and it will bring them towards you. Don't just go and start doing a slider and not looking around. I pull my parachute, I open, I look left and right, left and right. He's open there, he's good. He's not moving away, he's not moving away. I'm good. I'm doing my slider. This is like a huge importance about it. Keep an eye, everybody. If you can, and you know that in your group you were 4 or 5 people, and you open your parachute, I see 1, I see 2, I see 3, 4, I see 5. This is my old group. I am good to go. I can go. This is also a very good thing to learn. depends on what the group you're going to be doing. Some people have better and higher wing loading than others. It is a good thing to talk about it. I still talk about it every day with people. I have a 2.8 wing loading. Some of the people have a 2.5. Some of the people have a 2.6. Before every jumps now, we still go as like, you're going first, I am going second, you are going third, he is going first, he is going second, I am going third. And we try to give ourselves an order for a pattern to learn. It makes everything easier, and once you're up there, it gives you something to work on. Either fly a little bit on your brake, either go a little bit faster, or then it gives you an opportunity to be aware, and you're like, I know this person have to go before me. We're on the same level. I will brake a little bit. I will make sure this person get enough place, and then yeah. Yeah, canopy collisions are a massive and the craziest injury we can get in skydiving, and we don't recover from those things. So those things all matters. We pay a lot of attention to it in our jump that we do. So yeah, respect your drop zone rules about landing. They can be all different. Some drop zone can be first person down, you follow them. Some of the other drop zone can be you always land into the wind. Always ask your local drop zone what is the rules that mandate the priority of landing, and always respect them. They will always maybe be a little bit different throughout different drop zones. So yeah, go ahead and talk to your local DZO and make sure you understand the rules of the landing in the drop zone. Huh? I guess that's that. And yeah, I guess, man, thank you everybody for going through all of this with me. It is my first time doing those safety seminars. I may have gone like 30 minutes over what I should have gone, but I am sorry. I probably made a bit more talking points on my PowerPoint than I talk, but yeah, we're all in this together. I cannot say more that I made some friends in skydiving now. They're like brothers and sisters and family that I will follow, and they will be my friend for life. So keep going out and looking out for the information online. The high experience learner, keep learning, keep yourself valid information. Wrong information, keep doing the wrong thing is never the thing to do. We all want to make sure we're all going down on the ground safely. Let's look out for each other, talk about what we sometimes don't want to talk. Even if the vibe of the drop zone needs to be cool and whatever. Let's talk sometimes about the things we don't want to talk. Let's keep everybody safe. Yeah, keep buying fresh gear. Everybody's fucking looking good in socks and gears and jerseys, and makes amazing memories all together. And yeah, hopefully this little format and this little briefing helps a lot of us and a lot of you guys. This PowerPoint will be ready to share. You can keep it with you. Keep reading on it, keep sharing it. This is my take on it. I'm not the most experienced skydiver out there, but this is my little take on it. So I hope this helps a lot of people and makes everybody stay safe out there. This is the big point of it, actually. Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough, Jean. So I will say, obviously, you guys can tell Jean is French, so I confused him a little bit where I changed his POC to BOC
Yeah.
and all these little things. But Jean, thank you so much. So right now, we do still have 23 minutes. See, you're all good. For people who have question and answers. For those of you who aren't familiar with Zoom, if you look on the bottom of your line, there's a raise hand icon. You can just raise your hand like that. That'll flag me that there's a question. Once we have obviously answered that question, I'll get you to lower your hand. But again, Jean, thank you. To the floor. Is there anything anyone has questions about that would like, or comments? Anything to add? You taught it all. Everybody's really silent.
Yeah. It's a good thing, you know. Same when you eat food. If you're silent, it's good.
Right? Hey, next time you're out here, we got to go to Cuckoo's.
Yeah.
Well, there's like doesn't seem to be any questions from the floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up this meeting. I'm going to stop recording it, and then it'll just be an open forum for anyone to chit chat. Again, Jean, on behalf of myself and Gord at Skydive Vancouver Island, I just appreciate the time that you've put into this,
Yeah.
completely on your own volunteer time to come in. And we cannot wait to have the Keen2Lean camp here. For those of you who aren't aware, there's camps at the Skydive Vancouver Island. There's camps at Campbell River Skydiving. There's a camp in Salmon Arm. If you want more information about that, you can reach out to Jean directly or Brian Morgan, or myself. I know I can get you information, whether it's about our drop zone or the others. And I do believe there is a Facebook page, Keen2Lean. So definitely go check it out there. I'm going to stop recording this call. And again, thank you everyone for taking time out of your night.
Yeah, thanks for everyone to tuning in and listening. It's really appreciate it.
Love it.
That was awesome, John. Nice work, man. Really good.
Thanks, Gene. See you, Allison. See you later, Bruno.